Welcome back to another edition of Research Fantasy presents our MLB DFS hitter picks for Monday, June 5th, 2017. With the pitching as ratchet as it is, I think we should definitely be able to find some hitting options for our lineups tonight. I didn't really touch on the Cubs individually, but I do like them as a team stack, especially. I'm almost wondering if for like the casual player, if the fact that Straley is priced so high on DraftKings will throw off the ownership on the Cubs. I really hope it does because I really love the spot for them tonight. But let's take a look at some guys that I really want to have some exposure to. First up, let's go with Jorge Bonaficio taking on Houston and Mike Fears. We've got 7,200 on Fantasy Draft, 3K on FanDuel, 3,600 on DraftKings. So you get a little power pop in your lineup at a relatively cheap price, which isn't necessary tonight considering a lot of the pitching options I'm looking at aren't that high priced. But let's face it, it never hurts to find a guy that you can get cheap because that just means you could build more stability around him or at least build a higher ceiling lineup. On the year, Mike Fears has been giving up a 490 WOBA, 50% fly ball rate, 39.7% hard contact to right-handed hitting. That's absurd considering he's pitched like 12 or 13 games already. It's actually 11, but still 11 games to have numbers that high is incredible. Had a pretty solid outing, actually probably his best outing of the year last time out, where he struck out 8 Twins and gave up 2 runs in 6 innings pitched. The biggest thing here is, with the Royals, I don't stack the Royals because there's not a lot of success with doing that. I think what you're looking for is a couple of isolated situations where you could see some guys go deep off of him. So possibly the only real Royals bats I'm looking at tonight will be Salvi Perez, Whit Merrifield, and maybe Cheslor Cuthbert, but I doubt that he'll be in the lineup. And then obviously Jorge Bonaficio. At their prices, they make good fill-ins, like I said, that allow you to really build up elsewhere. Next up, let's go pick on Asher Wojciechowski. Was not a good first outing for him the other night. 4 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, 4 earned runs. I could expect some more of that as the Reds send him on the mound against the Cardinals. One guy I'll be particularly interested in using will be Jedd Gyorko at 7,800 on Fantasy Draft, 3,600 FanDuel, 3,900 DraftKings. Pretty much has a middle-of-the-road price. He's always a power threat. Has been raking against these right-handed pitchers that have not been able to pitch low fly ball or low hard contact rates. Hard to really look at Wojciechowski and say whether that's what he's going to be or not. It's it's been like 1 start and maybe a couple other appearances, but everything points to him not being a great pitcher in the majors. So I don't have any issue throwing Jedd Gyorko out there. The Cardinals, probably my favorite stack of the night. Unfortunately, they will probably be a favorite stack of the night for just about everyone playing daily fantasy. Last up, let's go with one of my favorite options. I could go with Matt Kemp here, but his disappointing weekend, especially capped off by an 0-for-6 performance on Sunday, where he's had good matchups to go around. He gets another one against Nick Pivetta. I'll pivot off of him, go to a guy that I'm sure a lot of people feel is ridiculously overpriced, especially on Fantasy Draft and DraftKings, and that is Justin Bour, sitting at 9,600 on Fantasy Draft, 3,600 on FanDuel, 5K on DraftKings. Eddie Butler, not a high fly ball pitcher, but hard contact at almost 60% against left-handers is going to get you in trouble. Bour has overcompensated for his very, very, very slow start to the season. He's been absolutely on fire. He's up to 16 home runs now on the year. This is an ideal situation, ideal matchup. I think he's a guy I want to have in a lot of my fantasy lineups. The Marlins have become one of my favorite stacks. Fingers crossed that A, the weather holds up well in Chicago, and B, that we could get some, good wind blowing out to center field. That will really put me over the top of my Bour ownership. I think he can end up being one of the highest scoring players on the slate. So that'll wrap it up for our 3 tournament plays today. Once again, that's Jorge Bonaficio, Jedd, Gyorko, Justin Bour. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Head over to researchfantasy.com. Check out what we've got going on there. Like us on Facebook at Research Fantasy. Follow us on Twitter at Research and Win. And join us again tomorrow.